Welcome, Council, to another meeting between the Bureau of Regulators for Independent Time Immigrants and Spatial Hoppers. Praise be to the BRITISH. First of all, let's congratulate ourselves for the capture and torment of that David Tennant fellow and his tacky police box.
Wait, who?
Exactly.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have a question.
Please keep your questions until after the meeting finishes.
But I raised my hand.
He did raise his hand.
Okay, fine.
Are the meeting snacks non-GMO? I put a complaint in about that the last time. It gave me a real headache.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know. Let me check back in with you in an hour. Hello, I am you in an hour. They are indeed GMO. Ah, thank you. Tell Deborah that she's done a fine job yet again with the snacks.
Did you see Deborah's new Time Lady robes? She's a total babe.
Council member number 4. She's a married Time Lord for time's sake.
Aw, man. Who's the lucky guy?
You small-minded buffoon. Don't you mean lucky woman?
Yes, I heard Deborah's married to a future version of herself these days. Good for hers.
Back to the meeting at hand. A particular individual has been using an unregulated time-traveling device to visit different versions of Earth at the end of the world.
Hi, Council member number 6 here. Just piping in. Would this be the one with the podcast?
Indeed it is, Council member number 6. I reckon it's high time we caught this rascal and send him to the time prison. Council members number 3 and 4.
Yes,
Aw,
sir.
man. I feel like you guys just see me as a lap dog.
Oh, would you shut up? I'm trying to get that promotion to council member number 2. I need this man. Let me have it.
Would you please prune this deviation?
That is a yes, sir.
Welcome back to Before Extinction, a podcast for a single artist by an
Is
artist.
that him?
Shush! Quiet, or you'll get us both spotted.
Jeez. Is that him?
I mean, do you see anyone else here?
Just that chick with the head crab eating her brains. Is he meant to be interviewing her? Or the head crab?
I don't know, just prune him.
And, like I always say, check your back, because you never know when someone's gonna shoot you with a teleportation device. Ah! Hey, that's weird. Normally there's static around now, or I wake up to... Wait up. Where? This is cold floor, and above... Oh god, those lights are bright.
Hello?
Huh?
Hello? Is that a voice I hear from someone else?
Wait, is that... Are you coming through the wall? Are you... Hello?
Oh, finally a neighbor. This cell's been getting really lonely.
Wait, hold on, there's like a little shoot. Omar?
Joseph?
What? Wait, where are we?
We're in time prison. A place between time and space, a white void where the gods of time have been keeping us.
I'm not good with geography. Is that like in New South Wales or?
Pretty close.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
It's the New South Wales of the timeless, spaceless multiverse.
Wait, time prison? What? I'm wearing like this blue jumpsuit and... Oh god, I must have been drunk. I've got a tattoo on me. It says Crime Series 481148. Unregistered jumping around multiverse. Oh, they got me. What are you in
Got you.
for?
Is that how you got to that zombie universe?
Yeah, okay, so I've got... Okay, I've been naughty. For the past year, I have been jumping around different multiverses. Just, I don't want to, you cause any butterfly effect. I sort of take the position of an already dead Joseph, normally in a world that's ending, and for funsies, I see how my friends are coping, if they're still alive. Oh,
That does sound like a pretty big time crime.
That it was a time, and now I'm doing time for it, eh? Hey. Yeah, sorry, the Joseph you knew. Are you... Wait. Yeah, are you the Omar from the zombie timeline?
I am indeed the Omar from the zombie timeline.
God.
From there.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Cover's blown. Your Joseph was dead. The one you talked to was me. I was just sort of on a sabbatical.
I figured you were a bit of out of character. The Joseph I knew had gone through a lot of character development leading up to the...
Oh,
the
really?
thing. It was like a big grizzled
Yeah, he was...
buff guy.
He was... Well, I mean, not as buff as me, of course. You know, I've been putting some time in. Wait. So what are we doing here?
I guess the gods of fate and time have put us together for some reason.
Man. I mean, if I'm going to get executed, I reckon I should get some things off my chest. Do you have anything to get off your chest? Any regrets? Wait, what are you even in here for?
Tax evasion.
Like time tax evasion?
Oh, just regular tax. The ATO. I haven't paid my returns since 2016.
You were in the apocalypse. The ATO was still going?
Oh, yeah.
God damn.
The train of capitalism stops for no one.
Oh, God. Oh, I need to do mine soon.
Well, you grilled me so hard last time on all this stuff about my life. I feel like I should pay you the favor back.
Last rites and all that.
Yeah.
All right, shoot.
Welcome to the Before Extinction podcast, the only podcast for artists, by artists, right before the end of the world. My name's Omar Rihani, and today I'm with a very special guest.
I'm Joseph Davey.
So, what does it feel like to be in the other foot?
So honestly, there's one. I'm a big food person. I love food, but there's one taste I can't stand, and that's the taste of my own medicine. I've put so many people through this situation. Maybe 2 out of the 20 have been they've been sort of keyed in. They've done podcasts before, but most of the time they're sort of scared. I have to walk them through it like fragile little animals, which is fair enough. It is scary, and now I'm in the spotlight. I can see it. Oh God, it is a little bit scary. I don't have a script for this one.
So, Before Extinction. What is Before Extinction? Because it's more than just a podcast, isn't it?
Yes. So, Before Extinction is a studio, specifically a game studio I run with my friend and business partner, Lilli Chuawiwat. In a nutshell, we are trying to do the most we can before extinction. Now, this is meant to be a game studio, and we will be having a game published soon. I can tell you more about that in a moment. The podcast was to help sort of put us out there, find some connections, promote our friends, because that's always been one of our sort of missions, and to advertise the game once it comes out. We started it because we both realized that at the point in time, sort of around 2024 to 2026, there weren't many jobs going around for animation or games. Animation is where I started out. And then I sort of went on a spiritual journey, or more so an anti-spiritual journey. On a trip abroad, I discovered how much I love commerce and the exchange of money for goods and services. Wow. I thought, well, hey, if you can't beat them, join them. If you can't be hired, hire. And so Millie and Lily, we thought, hey, whilst we're waiting to get some jobs, let's make our own and see if we can, on our own, advertise, make, and sell a game.
Exciting stuff. Yeah. So this is my third episode appearance.
It is.
I'm the first guest.
Yes.
Of any guest you've had before, and I am also the first guest host.
Yes.
Of the podcast.
You are.
How long have you been in love with me? And will this affect our friendship when I reject you?
So I kind of lied earlier. I said that I was mostly going around to different apocalypses just for the fun. And also I have to go to the end of the world. Well, I thought I had to go to the end of the world because that way I couldn't, commit any time crimes, right? They say, if you go into the past, step on a butterfly, everyone gets born with 3 heads. I thought if I just go to the very, very end, surely nothing can happen, right?
Surely.
boy, was I wrong. No, the real reason I was jumping around universes is because the Omar from my timeline died. Oh,
I can't even picture it. I can't imagine
let me paint the scene.
an Omar from any timeline dying.
Oh God, he was so beautiful. That boy, he was just a youngin', ripe old age of 22. He said, guys, I figured out this trick with the bottle of ketchup to get the last bit out.
No.
And he said something about rotational force and gyroscopes, and so he took the bottle of ketchup and he swung his arm around in a circle as fast as he could, trying to get that centrifugal force. But he hit a light and electrocuted himself and died instantly.
No.
It was so quick, right in front of me. And I missed him.
See, in my timeline, everything up until that point happens, but instead I just shattered the light.
Oh God.
So,
oh gosh. Yeah.
That's a true story before extinction.
Yeah, that's a
listeners.
true before extinction
It's a
story.
true story. Well, what have you gauged from your career thus far? I imagine you haven't jumped straight into this kind of entrepreneurial venture. You've done internships, you've done attempted startups.
Yeah.
Let's hear about how that's kind of all. Well, first of all, what were they, and how is that going to affect your work moving forwards?
I think a lot of people our age will be finding this now, but the old myth of the, finish high school, get to university, get the diploma, come out, get a small entry-level position at a job, and then work your way up. I feel like a lot of us have been sort of disillusioned by that, given the state of the world at the moment. For me, I was one of the lucky few who did come out of university with some internships. I internshipped at a studio called Cheeky Little, and that was really, really amazing. I've got to thank a friend for that opportunity. There I learnt how to do it right. Like how actual these animation studios operated, how the things are meant to be run, the sort of cadence you speak with, how to organize your files, how to make sure, it isn't a mess. First things first, it is way more a proper job, right? A proper big boy job is way more casual than I thought. I mean, the work getting done, when it's important, you act important. But generally, the tone's very, very casual. So that immediately made it way less intimidating. The next internship I did was with a small graphic design studio called Studio Riz. It was actually more of a mentorship, and I want to shout out to Rizwan Nawaz. He's very, very cool, very, very talented, very, very talented guy.
Studio Riz, no relation to
the meme.
To the meme. I will say I do seriously regret making that chicken jockey joke. Chicken jockey. In the first episode. I was like, you know what? This isn't going to age poorly. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a product of its time. And every time I listen back to it, I'm like,
oh, God.
Why did I do that? Why? What part of me genuinely thought that was a good idea?
I just think it's like milk, right? Yep. People say things age like wine, and what they mean is they age well. Well, it ages like milk, where it ages poorly, and then if you just keep going, it eventually turns... You get cheese. And then if you age it beyond that, it becomes bad again. But then if you keep going, what you get is archaeological artifact of the human race.
Wow.
So I hope
you're saying it's terrible now, but in 2099...
It will be terrible again.
It will be terrible again.
Terrible again. But
that's amazing.
So after the internship with Riz, which taught me a lot of technical skills, and also taught me a lot of advertising skills and how to run social media, I then went on to an amazing opportunity to pitch cartoons myself. That was brought about by some family friends. Can't get too much into detail because it might actually happen, but God, in a way, I sort of went straight to the top. I went from intern and then skipped all the middle parts and went, bam, I'm pitching a cartoon, which I feel like is a lot of people's dreams. But in a similar vein to H.P. Lovecraft, I might have seen a little bit too much. Saw how the sausage was made, and I realized that it actually, even if I became, a super hyper creative director in animation, it might not have fit in with the dream I wanted to achieve with my whole life. It would have been cool.
Sure.
But my dream has always been to get into a position where I can lift other creatives up. I've always held the philosophy that there are so many talented people in this world, and not all of them have the wherewithal or the opportunity to advertise themselves and put themselves out there. If only, everyone had a little help. So Before Extinction, it's a game studio, it's a podcast, and eventually we're hoping to become a game publishing company, and then maybe we start publishing film, and maybe we become a media enterprise. Who knows what the future holds before Extinction.
So it's kind of just like whatever you want to do as a creative venture that will help other.
Now, the key to this, dreamers, all you dreamers out there, is the difference between dreams and goals is goals have a plan. So the actual plan for Before Extinction is run the podcast and make the game. Mm-hmm. The dream is always changing. The dream can be, it can be whatever it wants to be. Yeah. But in terms of what we're doing now is we're just trying to publish one game, see how well that goes, and that is a goal you can break down and actually engage with.
Now, I've always been a fan of the quote, the difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. So it's kind of like...
Oh, that is good. Yeah, actually, that's
which I feel like very much reflects the sorts of things you're after there. But, of course, that will never come to fruition now because you're stuck in time prison for all of eternity.
For a second, I forgot about that.
This is a lifelong sentence. In fact, it's even longer than a lifelong sentence because now you're cursed with eternal life, though I feel like you probably won't view it as a curse.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm a big fan of immortality.
A big fan of immortality. Why so?
Well, look, I wouldn't be a venture capitalist if I wasn't overtly optimistic, even in the worst of situations. Sure. One thing that I'd say you have to be in order to go out on your own is optimism. Not blind, dumb optimism, but an attitude of how can I make this work? Sure. I've always thought that it would be amazing to be immortal, right? Because I think people forget one thing. Let's say you're a little bit dumb. You hear immortality, you hear about the ability to never die, and you go, whoa, whoopee, that sounds amazing. Oh boy, never dying, amazing. If you're slightly smarter, right, you go, oh, actually it's a curse. I'd leave all my family behind. The world would change without me. Never being able to die means never being able to escape. Oh no. And then, Omar.
Right.
If you're just a stage smarter, if you're a cut above the rest, you realize that doesn't even matter. You're immortal. 200 years pass. You've lost all your friends and family. Don't worry, you can make some more ones. Another 300 years pass. Oh god, there's no one left to be friends with. The great apocalypse happened and I'm all that's left. 10 more years passed. You go insane, of course, because you're alone on a giant sandpit. 20 more insane, 30 more insane, 300 more. Insanity's boring. You're back, baby. And those sort of piles of rock, they are amazing for conversation. 1,000 more years pass, insane. 500,000 years, back again. And then ad infinitum. I feel like people think, oh god, being immortal means never ever, having a break, never ever being able to, have your peace. I think being immortal, there's nothing to lose, because you can't lose, ever.
Well, see, I think that's the thing. I think you make a great case for, living for 100,000 years, or even 1,000,000 years, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like immortality it casts a shadow over it so big that every part of the horizon is cast in darkness. Even that cycle is the tiniest sliver
of eternity.
It's a breadcrumb.
But then again, you're immortal. What can you do? I feel like people either don't understand the infinite capacity of the infinite, and they also don't understand the fact that you can't do anything about it. And that second fact would keep me sane in this prison cell. How long have you been in here?
Well, pretty much right after that zombie episode we recorded.
Oh.
It was right
right
there,
after?
You left and then popped away. I was like,
Oh. Damn. Oh no. What if my time traveling shenanigans caught them onto... Oh, sorry.
They brought them onto me. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Well, that really sucks. And I'm going to be really angry at you for the next 1,000 years. And then afterwards, fine.
Yeah.
I'm back to it. And then another 1,000 years. Hang on, remember that thing 2,000 years ago? Why we're here in the first place. Before Extinction, you don't just plan to make the podcast. You're making a game, and that game
Yes.
is...
The game is called Slingbug. The demo should be out around the end of May. This will be 10 levels and free for everyone to play to help us test the game out, see which direction we should take it. And then the plan currently, at time of recording, is to release it February 2027. Slingbug is a mix between Angry Birds, Pokemon, and Peggle. You play as an army of native Australian insects fighting against a horde of cane toads, rabbits, rats, and cats, and the like. And the way you fight against them is you combine your army of bugs and slingshot them at the enemies, watching them bounce around a sort of canvas until they're all wiped out, and you earn some coins, rinse and repeat. You buy better bugs, you buy better abilities, you combine them for different levels where different abilities are specifically better, and Bob's your uncle, Sling is your bug.
Amazing. What will Slingbug be releasing on?
Slingbug, we have it currently set out to release on all iPhones. It's an iPhone game, you know? Not to not to show too much of behind the scenes, but the main strategy is you either sell dozens of really expensive things or you sell a million really, really cheap things. In a market that's oversaturated with games that are free but at the caveat of microtransactions and thousands of ads, we want to make a very simple, very bare bones, you pay $2, you get a game, it's on your iPhone, you can play it on the bus, play it whilst you're bored, play it at a wedding that you're not really into. Yeah, we're mostly releasing it on iPhone, and eventually we'll expand into computers and Steam Decks and VR headsets.
VR. I mean, it's quite difficult to break into the mobile phone market, I imagine. How do you kind of plan on, slithering your way in and making Slingbug a success?
Well, our main differentiator is the fact that there's no ads, there's no microtransactions. You pay to, you get the game. Super simple. Mm-hmm. I suppose our second thing is that we're very indie Australian artists. This is a very Australian game. We've got Australian insects. We have Australian invasive species. And we'll have references to Australia.
Do you have hats that have little corks dangling off them?
We're adding a cork hat. A whole Crocodile Dundee bug. But yes, it is difficult. A lot of people say that in this day and age of social media, everyone has more opportunity than ever to have their voice heard. The only problem is that everyone has that opportunity. So we will be one studio yelling among hundreds. Our main forms of sort of putting ourselves above the rest is 1, the uniqueness of our game, 2, the uniqueness of how we're going to sell it, and 3, advertising. We hope to pull it off. We plan to. We'll be engaging with not, huge influencers and celebrities. We'll be keeping everything indie. We'll be talking to other Australian artists, other Australian developers to help us out with this.
Yeah, nice.
Like a cicada.
Like a cicada,
we're keeping it underground.
The SCP Foundation.
Oh. Yes.
E is for eternity. What a segue, chaps. If you're listening on, did you expect that one?
E is for eternity. Oh, shout out to my SCP Foundation fans. Wait, is that where we are? Is Time Prison a subsidy of the SCP Foundation?
It might be. Maybe this is just the afterlife. Well, I mean, surely there's some sort of Sisyphean way of viewing this time prison as almost a good thing, because if we don't accept that, going on, we're going to have to find some meaning here, then... And we can't kill ourselves. So this is the end.
Like a wise president once told me, with enough cognitive dissonance, anything can be good.
Who was that president?
Oh,
The one?
The one. We all know who we're talking about. I am, as my Apocalypse podcast says, a big fan of horror, a big fan of eternities, a big fan of desolate situations. I think this desolate situation, that we're in time prison, we can't die of old age. Do we get brought food?
No need to eat.
No need to eat. Okay, so we don't get brought food. There's plenty of time for conversation. We're here for all of eternity. Do we get tortured by like our younger selves or something? Is there any more take on the time stuff, or is it just? Well,
I get tortured by my younger self whenever I remember saying chicken jockey on the podcast. Chicken jockey.
Oh yeah,
that's a bit of torture.
Yeah, that is a bit of torture.
But
yeah.
Other than your mind is the biggest cage of all when it comes to personal torture.
So our mind is our execution. Oh, just turn it off.
Turn it off.
Turn your mind off.
How did I not think of that?
Little switch, turn it off, and try and sleep for all eternity. Obviously, that's not going to work for a million years, so you'll eventually wake up. Luckily, you would have forgotten who you are at this point. Born anew into the world, and it's an exciting world. You've got, 4 walls, a roof, and a floor? And that's great, because, the new you with no memories, never seen that before. So then new you is there for another 1,000 years. He obviously gets insane. So then you go to sleep again. Rinse and repeat. I can't wait, actually, for the new opportunity that being in a box forever will have. I think I'm going to come up with many great podcast ideas. I think I'm going to reach levels of the human mind that no one else has before.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you could bring one thing into this eternity cave with you, this white void, what would you bring?
Interesting. One thing into this white void. The entire human population.
That's a big thing to bring.
If I'm going down, everyone is coming down. And
This is why you push the red button?
This is why I'd push. Oh God, the red-blue button debate. If we really want to make this, if we really want to age this, I'm bringing in the entirety of the human race with me, because I feel like it's a little harder to go completely nuts with company.
Sure.
Because then you'll see it as a trend, and there's obviously going to be people who go against the status quo, so they'll actually become a form of super sane. And once they're super sane, they'll be able to create a machine that might be able to get us out of here, out of other people.
That would be pretty great.
It will be gruesome. It will be bad, and we will have to just pull up our bootstraps.
I mean, one of the things that brings me great sadness is that, you'll never be able to meet everyone. You walk down the street and you're like, here are all these people. And they're all living these lives, and I will never get to, say hi or to sit down with them, ever. But with infinite time, you get to meet every single person. Many times you get to become best friends with every single person.
10 billion guests on the Before Extinction podcast.
That would be incredible.
That'd be amazing.
That'd actually be really interesting. Just a podcast that just talks to just normal people.
Everyone and anyone.
Try everyone.
Everyone.
So for the Slingbug, do you intend to create devlogs for that? And what do you think the process is of kind of making the game to almost being like a game-making personality? Because obviously this podcast is kind of like a personality outlet for you to put, to put a voice. I was going to say a face, but it's a podcast. To put a voice behind the creative.
Yes.
Do you think that's kind of more reflective of the general scene of how, in order to create anything, you kind of have to be a personality doing the creating?
That's a damn good question. Yes, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm not actually Joseph Davey. This is a persona created for a podcast, a sort of characterization of who I really am to optimize entertainment. Everyone is doing this. Anyone you see online is either taking footage of themselves in real life, which they shouldn't do, and is a total invasion of their own privacy, or they are putting a persona on. Now, this is not to say a persona is completely false. Every persona, within itself holds truth. Every mask is actually made of glass. But yeah, I am creating a persona for this show, and we will create a persona for the game. Is it lying? Are we lying to people?
No.
My personal opinion is that the most efficient forms of communication require a bit of acting. When we're making this game, we really do want it, honestly, we really do want it to be sort of community-based. I mean, obviously, it's me and Lilli's game, but we don't just want to be a sort of AAA company that pushes something out there and sort of forces people to buy it. The demo is being released for free. Anyone will be able to play it, so we can gather feedback, so that we can build the game for our audience. And these devlogs, which we will do, we will be releasing devlogs, hopefully they'll be entertaining enough, thanks to our personas, and also clear enough, thanks to the personas, that we can separate wheat from chaff and critique from noise.
Yeah.
If we're just unclear in every video we make because we're, recording off the top of the dome, then it's going to be pointless. We will be wasting airtime. If we can craft things, you can find. It's a bit paradoxical, but sometimes in order to find the truth, you need to craft a lie. Whoa! I'm the Riddler, Batman. It's some men just want to watch the whole world Slingbug.
I don't think it's a lie, because I think a lie has to be like with intent to deceive. But you're not trying to deceive. You're trying to.
No,
Trying to make
we're
some
trying to
fun,
clear things
you know?
up. But that type of justification is why you're not going to heaven and I am.
Ah.
Yeah.
I didn't think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
I'm a filthy liar.
I mean, why else are you in time prison?
That's true. That's true. I guess tax evasion's kind of like lying when you really think about it.
As for the persona that we create for Slingbug, it will have a different use. It will be a different animal. The persona for Before Extinction, the podcast, is an interviewer, so I have to leave people space to, be themselves. You can tell in the early episodes, I'm not great at it. I have gone in blind doing this. In the first episodes, I get very excited, and in real life, I try to finish people's sentences to show that I'm listening. I realize, one, slightly rude, and two, not great for interviews. So the game design persona, when I'm making posts where it's my voice, or when Lily's making posts where it's her voice, it will be quite literally an advert. It will be, hi, I'm presenter. Here's the actual information. What do you think? And the next post will be, you guys thought X. This is why. My voice is entirely here to sound clear and to deliver information. In the future, though, once we become developers and we will have less need for advertising, I think we'll be more transparent, more honest, less of a need to put a persona on.
Well, that's fantastic. And we can reflect on that for literally forever. We can continue this conversation for literally
Oh, God, this is going to affect
forever.
the margins.
It will affect the margins. I mean, I guess we're going to have to scheme on a way to help you get out, or else this might be the last episode of season 1 of the Before Extinction podcast.
The last episode of the season 1 of the Before Extinction, the podcast?
Yeah, can you imagine anything worse than no more Before Extinction podcast for an entire extended hiatus of time, indefinitely?
Okay, let's think of ways to get out. Okay. So you committed tax evasion,
Uh-huh.
and I've been hopping around to apocalypse dimensions, which is obviously not allowed.
Very comparable crimes.
Yeah. Very comparable. Well, yours, you're going to be a little harder to redeem, but yours is simple. Just untax evade.
I have to pay my taxes? No, I'd rather stay here for eternity. What are you talking about?
No, really think about this.
Think about
Tax evasion. Tax evasion, what's the opposite of a tax? A gift.
A gift.
What's the opposite of evade? Block.
Block.
So you need to gift block.
I need a gift block.
So
I need to wait for someone to give a gift and slap it out of their hands.
Yes. And if you give me time, I'm going to create a gift for you, a present, and I'll put it through the little shift, and you're just going to have to say no. And hopefully that will pay penance for your crimes. Now, what have I been doing? I've been going around to different end of the world scenarios and interviewing people. So now I need to
create a new world and silence everyone.
silence everyone. No, because I can't be silencing everyone because I'm letting other people speak in an interview. I need to silence myself.
You need to give voices.
I need to create a world and then be quiet about it. Oh, but I feel like that's the ultimate brag. Imagine you're at a party, someone says, "Ooh, I've just got my new job at the Dow Jones." And then you can say, well, it's not exactly rocket science. And they can go, well, what do you do? And then you can say, I made the world. But to be silent about that, that's a real test. Me being humble.
Can it even be done, folks? Find out next time.
Well, hold on.
Hold on.
I've made a little gift.
Yeah?
I'm going to put it through the chute. Can
I
it's in your hand?
No. It's not in my hand.
Oh.
Because I reject your...
Omar? It worked. It worked. Oh my gosh. Now all I've got to do is create a world and be silent about it? Well, maybe I just need to create a world in which you, listener, look out for our game, Slingbug, where the demo is coming out around the end of May, and the full game will be coming out around February 2027. This is a game developed by a small studio, so we really could do with all the support you could have. Once again, Slingbug is a fun little puzzle game. It's a little pastime meant to be played on buses and at funerals. You play as a slingshot-shaped stag beetle defending his village from a swarm of invasive species, and it's real good fun. We'll be posting a lot about it on our Instagrams. So, if we all join hands and make a world in which Slingbug does really, really well, I feel it! I'm being beamed up! Sorry, just getting a little bit emotional. Recording this, had to take a few tries, but... Thank you, everyone, for listening to the final episode of the Before Extinction podcast. I want to thank Omar Rihani for being today's host, Nicholas Pang for the incredible music you guys were hearing when I was talking about Slingbug, Lilli Chuawiwat for putting up with my nonsense for basically the whole last year whilst I made this podcast to promote our friends in our game. I want to thank Murray Gold for the Doctor Who intro that I basically ripped off for the intro theme of this episode. I want to thank the Bureau of Regulators for Independent Time Immigrants and Spatial Hoppers for making their guest appearance, of course. I would also like to thank the actor Jonathon Nichola, the musician Joshua Buchanan, the artist Tessa Beard, the Shadow Man, the designer Lucy Dawson, God's divine programmer Oliver Alcaraz, the animator Tarah Sabogal, Dylan Bennet, Liam Tracy, Ella Grace, Daniel Buttgeig, and Ham Coles for their appearance in the Christmas special. Please go see Queer Review, Comedy Review, Nerdy Prudes Must Die, and Ham's new musical, Sympathy Jones, whilst they're coming out. I'd also like to thank filmmaker David Nowland. You should go and support his fundraiser for his upcoming short film Funny Business over at Proto Productions. I'd also like to thank the video game designer Brant Hannigan, the animator Agnes Tiexiera Perry Rocha, the actor Alejandro Sarmiento Castro. You should check him out in his production of The Homecoming. I'd also like to thank the astrophysics journalist Marnie Canderas and the actor Charlie Robinson. Once again, check out Charlie at the Queer Review Dungeons and Dragons. I'd also like to give a shout out to my cousin, Claudia Dixon, the tattoo artist, for her appearance on the podcast. It has been a pleasure getting to talk to you all before extinction.
Season 2 will be on its way, so write an email and send it our way. We're always looking
For new guests.
to interview before the apocalypse.